Hello, welcome to another video. Let's talk about Joker Folie à Deux. Yes, I'm Canadian, so automatically have the French card. I can speak as fluent French as you could imagine. Bonjour, je m'appelle Matt. That's all you need to know. But with the recent news, all the videos about it, everyone that has talked about this movie, I was a little intrigued that I wanted to see the new Joker movie. And boy, people aren't wrong. It's actually that bad. I thought it would be bad, but not as bad as people were saying. And it's not funny bad. It's just bad. You know, kind of boring, just kind of... It's one of the movies where you do have the thought of what the fuck's the point of this movie? Why am I watching this? Why was this made? What does this do for anything? You have those type of questions after the movie, not necessarily ones wrapped with the world story. Is there a next? You know, if you watch a really good movie and there's an ending where you're like, is there going to be a sequel? There has to be. You know, you start conversations like this. After the first Joker movie, I don't think that one ended in a spot that was, gnawing at the bit for a sequel. But basically, most people were kind of perplexed at the thought of a sequel to the Joker movie. When the first reveal kind of happened, it was this thought of this doesn't seem like a good idea. Just because the first movie it had this lightning in a bottle type of feeling. Realistically, I don't think Warner Brothers and such expected it to blow up and be as big as it was, mainly because if you look at the budget for that movie, it wasn't that high, which it does happen. But the news for this movie just continuously gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Mainly critics first bashed it, first audiences bashed it, and then you look at the box office for the first weekend, it hit around 38 million, which is crazy decline from even the first movie. And with the reported higher budget of this second one, you know it definitely hurt a lot. But realistically, this movie, it just comes down to the whole thought of the first one was a movie that very well could have felt into the realm of a cult classic type of movie that just blew through that ceiling and just turned into a mega world super movie that everyone will go, that's watched, and it seems like everyone is universally loved. It was a very big deal. And I think a lot of what succeeded the first Joker movie is obviously time it came out, I think it was 2019, but a lot of people even then were in this kind of superhero little rut. I felt like they were starting to get into that. That was near the end of the Marvel's big, timeline phase, I guess, kind of thing. And the first Joker movie felt like homage in a way to the older kind of 2000s superhero movies where it's more gritty and grounded, and it's an actual movie, not a fucking roller coaster of CGI, crazy shit, and explosions. They actually wanted it to be an art kind of thing. Obviously the Marvel movies are art, but there's a big difference. This movie, the first Joker movie, felt a lot more like a 2000 standalone superhero movie that was one of the good ones. And I think the story with the first one, with the origin story of the Joker, of showing this borderline broken person that just has the world and society around him that just continuously beats him down until he eventually gets to this fuck you, fuck the world, and loses it and just accepts the fact that he's this fucking psychopath, was great. It worked very, very well. And I can say, I'm not going to spoil the second movie. I don't implore people to go watch it. Maybe in the future watch it. But the second movie really kind of is just recapping a lot of the first movie, retelling it. And it kind of makes the Joker's character feels rather than it's he undeveloped. in for this movie, because it seemed like this first one fully developed, had this arc, had his Joker arc, and turned into this fucking psychopath. And then the second one, it went back kind of to like this, he's kind of fighting who he is type of thing, where the end of the first one very much made it like he's lost, it's the Joker officially. The second one, that's part of why the second one felt like it wasn't needed. A lot of people weren't asking for it. It seemed like the first Joker movie was this perfect little blip in time, that's what I'm trying to think, of just it worked perfectly. It resonated with a lot of people. I'm assuming they didn't think it would. Obviously, I don't think people turned into psychopaths because they're the Joker. It's more so just this feeling of like, it feels like the world and society and stuff is just working against you. And it's somebody that goes through that. Now, he obviously turns fucking crazy and stuff, which most people don't do. But that's really a lot of the story. It's just retelling it. It shows his relationship with Harley Quinn, Lady Gaga. I'll say the actors in the sequel were relatively fine. They're good actors, so they did fine. The fact that it was a musical, I remember hearing it and thinking, that's fucking stupid. I don't even want to watch it. I think maybe, I don't know if I've watched High School Musical as a kid. I can't remember a single song from it. But this, I'm not going to, it didn't ruin the movie that it was a musical. They were just kind of fine, but every song was almost like it's just kind of stating the obvious kind of, like it was kind of weird, like explaining the Lady Gaga Joker kind of love story thing. It didn't really progress anything. It just kind of sang the obvious. And it makes sense that Lady Gaga, with the singing and stuff for casting, makes sense. But I don't know. I'll say it's not the musical that ruins this movie, which I feel like myself and many other people just assumed right off the rip that this movie was going to be fucking horrible only because of the musical aspect of it. And honestly, no, it's just a fucking bad movie. It's a shame too. Mainly because, like, thinking about it, I have a sad feeling that I feel like this is going to tarnish the first one in some ways, just because it's the sequel to it. It's linked. I would obviously say just watch the first one. That's all you really need to watch. It's a great goddamn story. The second one seemed like Warner Brothers or whoever decided upon it, realized they caught lightning in the bottle, wanted to capitalize on it, and thought if they did a sequel, they could make a shit ton of money off of this one. You know, make it bigger, do this, da-da-da. Still have a great actor, all this kind of stuff. And it didn't happen. It blew up in their face, and that's kind of good in a way. Like, the first one was such like a small niche type of thing that just turned into this huge thing. I get that it's Joker and DC, so it's not like it was tiny. It is a big name associated with it because the Joker is a big character, but I don't know. It just seemed like they were trying to do a lot too much, and it just, nothing fell into piece the right way. The story, all of it was bad. Do not go and watch the second Joker movie. If you really want to like feel with the Joker, you know, get some sort of sense of, you know, watching something good, just go watch the first one. Rewatch it. I'm going to do that tonight, I think. Just to try and like cleanse this terrible movie out of my brain and remember how good the first one was. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Friday, I expect to be playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero because it looks fucking awesome and I cannot wait. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoy. Consider subscribing. Consider leaving a comment your thoughts on the Joker sequel movie if you had a terrible time like I did. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.